Tarasata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Mahabhagavat Shila Gokshara Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Shila Satchitaranda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Patadash Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bhadata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratishe namaha. Guruve gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yang pravrajantam apeta krityam dvaipayano viraha katara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedu stang sarva bhuta hridayam munimanatosmi narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Shrinvatang Swatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatam Nashta Prashpabodreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvang nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashtakama madhe kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dandavat pranams Rup Manjari Didi, Madhavi Didi. Okay, today will be some people we know, huh? That makes it a lot more interesting. Dandavat pranams Gargaraji and Raseshwari Mataji, Haribo, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji. Yeah, let's see, because today I think is pretty much only descendants. I think it's kind of like that for the rest of the 9th canto. I mean, we only have like a few more days, but yeah, we're just going to be reading lots and lots of descendants. Dandavat pranams, Rohit Radhakrishnan ji. Oh, glories. Yeah, so let's see. Haribo, Kishore Prabhu, Dandavat pranams. Okay, so let's begin. Let's see who we can recognize in this. Actually, let's just quickly see. Okay, so 2 chapters ago we read about how Bharadwaj was born. Both Brihaspati and Mamata wanted each other to maintain the child, so they both left the child. Thus the child is known as Bharadwaj. Then the Devatas, they gave Bharadwaj to Bharat. Alright, and then now the dynasty of Bharat, the story of Rantidev. Okay, so Bharat had Bharadwaj, and then from Bharadwaj, he gave birth to Manu, and Manu had 5 sons, and from the son Nara, he gave birth to, he had Sankranti was a son, Sankriti, and then from Sankriti was one was Guru, and the other was Rantidev. And so then we read about Rantidev. He's famous in human society and also in the society of Devatas. He was satisfied with whatever he got by the arrangement of providence. Though he was penniless, he was sober. When guests came, he would give them everything. Due to this, he and his family suffered considerably. Once, after fasting for 48 days, when Rantidev and his family were about to eat, a Brahmin guest arrived and begged from him something to eat. Then a Shudra arrived. After that, a dog keeper guest arrived. Then a guy with many dogs, and he said, "Please feed me and my dogs." Then he was just about to drink water, and because that's all that was left over is water. And so, but when he was about to drink water, then a Chandala arrived. And so Rantidev said, "I do not pray to the Supreme Lord for the 8." Let me just read this. When the king was just about to drink the water, a Chandal appeared and said, "Kindly give me water." Aggrieved at the pitiable words of the poor Chandal, Rantidev spoke the following sweet words. I do not pray to the Supreme Lord for the 8 perfections of mystic yoga, nor liberation from repeated birth and death. I only want to stay among all the jivas and suffer all the distresses on their behalf, so that they may be freed from suffering. By offering my water to save the life of this Chandal, I am freed from hunger, thirst, fatigue, trembling, moroseness, distress, lamentation, and illusion. Compassionate Rantidev, although on the verge of death due to thirst, gave his portion of water to the Chandal without hesitation. To test Rantidev, the controllers of the 3 worlds like Brahma and Shiva, who can give material worlds to ambitious men, had come before him as the Brahman, Shudra, Chandal, and so on. Now they manifested their real forms. Rantidev offered obeisances to them. Being detached with no material desires, he fixed his mind on Lord Vasudeva with devotion. Pure devotional mood of Rantidev, completely taking shelter of Lord Krishna with fixed consciousness without any deviation from his service. The Lord's Maya, composed of the 3 modes, entirely vanished for him, just as a dream disappears on its own. All those who follow by his mercy, they became the best pure devotees. The best yogi is one who constantly thinks of Lord Krishna. Rantidev was the king, so in speaking of devotees. If there is one pure devotee, he can create thousands of pure devotees. A Vaishnava is meritorious in proportion to the number of devotees he has created. Okay, further descendants of Bharadwaj. Okay, so also from Bharadwaj, so one son was Manu. Now also from Bharadwaj came, hey, Bharadwaj, Manu. 1 second. Okay, this is the same thing. So we just read Dave, who is a son of descendant of Nara. Now also Brihakshatra, and from Brihakshatra came Hasti. Then from Hasti, Ajamīḍha, Dvimīḍha, and Purumīḍha. And this, wow, that's quite a detailed. Yeah. Now we're continuing on with the descendants of Ajamīḍha. Wait, where is Ajamīḍha? Okay. Okay. And just one thing, sorry. Parmyashva's 5 sons are known. Whatever. Where's Parmyashva? Oh, there. Okay, so from Ajamīḍha came this line from Nila, and from Parmyashva he had 5 sons, and they are called the Panchalas. Mudgala, Yanivara, Varana, all of them. And so now we're going to read about the Panchala Dynasty, descendants of Divodasa. See, there. That's Divodasa right there. All right, so you see this family tree? Hasti, Ajamīḍha, then that whole dynasty of Nila to the Panchalas, and then he had these, the Madhgalya Brahmins, Divodasa, and Ahalya. So now we're going to read about Divodasa. All right. Panchala Dynasty. Let me just see everything. 1 second. Okay. The descendants of Ajamīḍha. This chapter describes the descendants of Divodasa. It also describes Jarasandha, who belonged to the Riksha dynasty, as well as Duryodhan, Arjuna, and others. The son of Divodasa was Mitrayu, who had 4 sons, one after another, Chyavan, Sudasa, Sahadev, and Somaka. Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the youngest was Prishata, from whom Drupada was born. Drupada's daughter was Draupadi, and his sons were headed by Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna's son was Drishtaketu. Another son of Ajamīḍha was Riksha. Sorry, I just want to see, where's Ajamīḍha? Oh, Riksha isn't even there. Let's see. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, from Riksha came a son named Samvaran, and from Samvaran came Kuru, the king of Kurukshetra. Kuru had 4 sons, Parikshi, Sudhanu, Janu, and Nishada. Among the descendants in the dynasty from Sudhanu were Suhotra, Chyavan, Kriti, and Uparicaravasu. The sons of Uparicaravasu, including Brihadrata, Kushamba, Matsya, Pratyagra, and Chedipa, became kings of the Chedi state. In the dynasty from Brihadrata came Kushagra, Rishabha, Satyahita, Pushpavan, and Jahu. And from Brihadrata, through the womb of another wife, came Jarasandha, who was followed by Sahadev, Somapi, and Shrutashrava. Parikshi, the son of Kuru, had no sons. Among the descendants of Janu were Surata, Vidhurata, Sarvabhauma, Jayasena, Radhika, Ayutayu, Krodhana, Devatiti, Riksha, Dilip, and Pratip. The sons of Pratipa were Devapi, Shantanu, and Bahalika. When Devapi retired to the forest, his younger brother Shantanu became the king. Although Shantanu, being younger, was not eligible to occupy the throne, he disregarded his elder brother. Consequently, there was no rainfall for 12 years. Following the advice of the Brahmins, Shantanu was ready to return the kingdom to Devapi. But by the intrigue of Shantanu's minister, Devapi became unfit to be king. Therefore, Shantanu resumed charge of the kingdom, and rain fell properly during his regime. By the intrigue of Shantanu's minister, what did he do, I wonder, to make Devapi not fit to be king anymore? Anyways, by mystic power, Devapi still lives in the village known as Kalapa Gram. In this Kali Yuga, when the descendants of Soma, known as the Chandravangsha, the lunar dynasty, die out, Devapi, at the beginning of Satya Yuga, will re-establish the dynasty of the moon. The wife of Shantanu, named Ganga, gave birth to Bhishma, one of the 12 authorities. Two sons named Chitranga and Vichitravirya were also born from the womb of Satyavati by the semen of Shantanu, and Vyasadeva was born from Satyavati by the semen of Parashar. Vyasadeva instructed the history of Bhagavatam to his son Shukadev. Through the womb of the two wives and the maidservant of Vichitravirya, Vyasadeva begot Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Dhritarashtra had 100 sons, headed by Duryodhan, and one daughter named Dushala. Pandu had 5 sons, headed by Yudhishthira, and each of these 5 sons had one son from Draupadi. The names of these sons of Draupadi were Prativindya, Shrutasena, Shrutakirti, Shatanika, and Shrutakarma. Besides these 5 sons, by other wives, the Pandavas had many other sons, such as Devaka, Gatotkacha, Sarvagata, Suhotra, Naramita, Iravan, Babruvahan, and Abhimanyu. Gatotkacha is Bhima's son, right? From Abhimanyu, Maharaj Parikshit was born. And Maharaj Parikshit had 4 sons, Janamejaya, Shrutasena, Bhimasena, and Ugrasena. Next, Shukadev Goswami describes the future sons of the Pandu family. From Janamejaya, he said, would come a son named Shatanika, and following in the dynasty would be Sahasranika, Ashwamedhaja, Asima Krishna, Nemi Chakra, Chitrarata, Shuchirata, Vrishtiman, Sushena, Sunita, Nrichakshu, Sukhinala, Pariplava, Sunaya, Medhavi, Nripanjaya, Durva, Timi, Brihadarata, Sudasa, Shatanika, Durdamana, Mahinara, Dandapani, Nimi, and Kshemaka. That'd be kind of neat to hear how your family was going to continue in the future, your future dynasties. Shukadev Goswami then predicted the kings of the Maghda Vangsha, or Maghda dynasty. Sahadev, the son of Jarasandha, would beget Marjari, and from him would come Shrutashrava. Subsequently, by taking birth in the dynasty will be Yutayu, Niramitra, Sunakshatra, Brihatsena, Karmajit, Sutanjaya, Vipra, Shuchi, Kshema, Suvrata, Dharmasutra, Sama, Dyumatsena, Sumati, Subala, Sunita, Satyajit, Vishwajit, and Ripunjaya. So I guess everybody's names were already predestined. I wonder So like when they came up with an idea, let's name him Karmaraja. It was already like, yeah, it was already known that the idea was just kind of meant to appear in his head after some time. The parents' head. All right. Shishuka uvacha mritayusha divo dasaj chavanastat nripa sudasaha sahadevota somako jantu janmakrit. Shukadev Goswami said, O king, the son of Divodasa was Mritayu, and from Mritayu came 4 sons, named Chavan, Sudasa, Sahadev, and Somaka. Somaka was the father of Jantu. Jantu is a very common Bengali name. Jantu. Tasya putra shatam tesham yaviyam prishata sutta satasmad drupado jagye sarva sampat samanvita. Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the youngest was Prishata. From Prishata was born King Drupad, who was opulent in all supremacy. Drupada Drupaditasya Drishta Dumna Daya Sutta Drishta Dumna Drishta Ketur Bharmya Panchalaka Ime. From Maharaj Drupad, Draupadi was born. Maharaj Drupad also had many sons, headed by Drishtadumna. From Drishtadumna came a son named Drishtaketu. All these personalities are known as descendants of Bharmyashva, or as the dynasty of Panchala. Remember, it's Bharyashva. So from Hasti, Ajamīḍha, Bharyashva. Then there's the Panchalas right there. And then Divodasa. All right. Wait, so then from Divodasa, Mritayu, then these 4. Okay, these are all Somaka's sons. Jantu, 98 sons. Okay, Draupadi. Got it. These are helpful. One second. Okay. Yojamera suto hyanya riksha samvaranastata tapatyam surya kanyayam kurukshetra pati kuru parikshi sudhanur janur nishadhascha kuro suta suhotro bhut sudhanushas dhanushas chavanota tatakriti. Another son of Ajamīḍha was known as Riksha. From Riksha came a son named Samvarana, and from Samvarana, through the womb of his wife Tapati, the daughter of the sun god, came Kuru. Tapati, the daughter of the sun god, came Kuru, the king of Kurukshetra. Kuru had 4 sons, Parikshi, Sudhanu, Janu, and Nishada. From Sudhanu, Suhotra was born, and from Suhotra, Chavan. From Chavan, Kriti was born. Let's look at the table. Okay, so Ajamīḍha, Riksha, Samvaran, Kuru, Sudhanu, Janu, Suhotra, Chavan, Kriti. Yeah, now Vasus tasyo paricharo brihadrata mukastata kushamba matsya pratyagra chedipa dyascha chedipa. The son of Kriti was Uparichara Vasu, and among his sons, headed by Brihadrata, were Kushamba, Matsya, Pratyagra, and Chedipa. All the sons of Uparichara Vasu became rulers of the state. Brihadratat Kushagro Bhurishabhastasya Tatsuta Jage Satyahito Patyam Pushpavangstatsuto Jahu. From Brihadrata, Kushagra was born. From Kushagra, Rishabha. From Rishabha, Satyahita. The son of Satyahita was Pushpavan, and the son of Pushpavan was Jahu. Anyasyam api bharyayam shakale dve brihadratat ye matra bahirutsrishte charaya cha bisandhite Jiva jiveti kridantya jarasandho bhavatsuta. Through the womb of another wife, Brihadrata begot two halves of a son. When the mother saw those two halves, she rejected them. But later, a she-demon named Jara playfully joined them and said, "Come to life, come to life." Thus the son named Jarasandha was born. All right, so now we know where Jarasandha comes in. Tatascha sahadevo bhut soma shruta shrava parikshir anapatyo bhut surato nama janava. From Jarasandha came a son named Sahadev. From Sahadev, Somapi. And from Somapi, Shruta Shrava. The son of Kuru called Parikshi had no sons. But the son of Kuru called Janu had a son named Surata. Tato viduratastasmat sarvabhaumastato bhavat jayasena stanayo radikoto yutavyuput. From Surata came a son named Vidurata, from whom Sarvabhauma was born. From Sarvabhauma came Jayasena, from Jayasena Radhika, and from Radhika Ayutayu. Tatakro dhanastasma devatitiramushacha rikshastasya dilipo bhut pratipastasya chatmaja. From Ayutayu came a son named Akrodhana, and his son was Devatiti. The son of Devatiti was Riksha. The son of Riksha was Dilipa. And the son of Dilipa was Pratip. Dilip sounds, it's a very American name, Dilip. Devapi Shantanustasya Bahlika iti chatmaja Pitri Rajan Parityajya Devapistu Vanam Gata Abhavat Chantanu Raja Prang Mahabhisha Sangita Yam Yam Karabhyam Sprishati Jirnam Yo Vanameti Saha. The sons of Pratipa were Devapi, Shantanu, and Bahlika. Devapi left the kingdom of his father and went to the forest, and therefore Shantanu became the king. Shantanu, who in his previous birth was known as Mahabhisha, had the ability to transform anyone from old age to youth simply by touching that person with his hands. Whoa, I'd like to meet him. All right. Shantim apnoti. Oh, wait, let's see. Okay, there's no line missing. Shantim apnoti chaiva gram karmana tena shantanu samadvadashatadraje navavarshya vivu shantanur brahmanar ukta parivetayamagrabhuk Rajam Tehyagrajayashu Pura Rashtra Vivridhaye. Because the king was able to make everyone happy for sense gratification, primarily by the touch of his hand, his name was Shantanu. Once, when there was no rainfall in the kingdom for 12 years and the king consulted his learned Brahminical advisors, they said, "You are faulty for enjoying the property of your elder brother. For the elevation of your kingdom and home, you should return the kingdom to him." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. First purport. One cannot enjoy sovereignty or perform an Agnihotra Yagya in the presence of one's elder brother, or else one becomes a usurper, known as Pariveta. Evam ukto dvijar jeshtam chandayam asasu bravit tan mantri prahitar viprar Vedar vibhrangshito gira. Veda vadati vadan vai tada devo vavarshaha. Devapir yogamastaya kalapa gramyamashrita. When the Brahmin said this, Maharaj Shantanu went to the forest and requested his elder brother Devapi to take charge of the kingdom, for it is the duty of a king to maintain his subjects. Previously, however, Shantanu's minister Ashvavara had instigated some Brahmins to induce Devapi to transgress the injunctions of the Vedas and thus make himself unfit for the post of ruler. The Brahmins deviated Devapi from the path of the Vedic principles, and then asked by Shantanu, he did not agree to accept the post of ruler. On the contrary, he blasphemed the Vedic principles and therefore became fallen. Under the circumstances, Shantanu again became the king, and being pleased, showered rains. Devapi later took to the path of mystic yoga to control his mind and senses, and went to the village named Kalapagram, where he is still living. Soma vangshe kalo nashte kritado stapayishyati palikat somadato bhurir bhuri shravastata shalascha shantanor asid gangayam bhishma atmavan sarvadharma vidam shreshto mahabhakavi. After the dynasty of the Moon God comes, oh God, sorry guys. After the dynasty of the Moon God comes to an end in this age of Kali, Devapi, in the beginning of the next Satya Yuga, will re-establish the Soma Dynasty in this world. From Bahilika, the brother of Shantanu, came a son named Somadatta, who had 3 sons named Bhuri, Bhurishrava, and Shala. From Shantanu, through the womb of his wife named Ganga, came Bhishma, the exalted, self-realized devotee and learned scholar. Alright, so now we know how Bhishma came. Shantanu, through the wife of Virayutagranirena Ramopi Yuditoshita Shantanur Dasakanyayam Jagye Chitrangada Sutta. What's going? Oops. That's Prajumna Prabhu sending. Okay. Bhishma Dev was the foremost of all warriors. When he defeated Lord Parshuram in a fight, Lord Parshuram was very satisfied with him. By the semen of Shantanu in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of a fisherman, Chitrangada took birth. All right. Purport. Satyavati was actually the daughter of Uparichara by the... Oh, really? Okay. She was the daughter of Uparichara by the womb of a fisherwoman known as Matsya Garbha. I thought her name was Matsya Ganda. Anyways, later Satyavati was raised by a fisherman. Oh no, Satyavati had a name Matsya Ganda also, right? Am I getting things mixed up? The fight between Parshuram and Bhishma Dev concerns 3 daughters of Kashiraj, Ambalika and Amba, who were forcibly abducted by Bhishma Dev, acting on behalf of his brother Vichitravirya. Amba thought that Bhishma Dev would marry her and became attached to him. But Bhishma Dev refused to marry her, for he had taken the vow of brahmacharya. Amba therefore approached Bhishma Dev's military spiritual master Parshuram, who instructed Bhishma to marry her. Bhishma Dev refused, and therefore Parshuram fought with him to force him to accept the marriage. But Parshuram was defeated, and he was pleased with Bhishma. Okay, there's a bunch of verses here. Vichitra viryaschavarajo namna chitrangado hata yasyam parasharat shakshad avatirno hare kala Veda Gupta Muni Krishna Yato Yang Idamad Adyagam Hitva Swashishyan Pailadin Bhagavan Badarayana Mahyam Putraya Shantaya Param Guhyam Idam Jago Vichitra Viryotovaha Kashiraja Sute Balat Swayamvad Upanite Ambikam Balike Ubhe Tayor Asakta Hridayo Grihito Yakshmanamrita. Oops. Chitrangada, of whom Vichitravirya was the younger brother, was killed by a Gandharva, who is also named Chitrangada. I wonder if that killed him. I'm the only Chitrangada here. Die. Satyavati, before her marriage to Shantanu, gave birth to the master authority of... Let me read that. Satyavati, before her marriage to Shantanu, gave birth to the master authority of the Vedas, Vyasadeva, known as Krishna Dvaipayan, who was begotten by Parashar Muni. From Vyasadeva, I, Shukadev Goswami, was born, and from him I studied this great work of literature, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The incarnation of Godhead Vedavyas, rejecting his disciples headed by Paila, instructed Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to me because I was free from all material desires. After Ambika and Ambalika, the two daughters of Kashiraj, were taken away by force, Vichitravirya married them, but because he was too attached to these two wives, he had a heart attack and died of tuberculosis. Yakshmana is tuberculosis, I guess, huh? Interesting. That was a disease back then. Just going to the comments, curious if anybody said anything. Okay. No problem. Manjari Didi. Hare Krishna Savitri Didi. Dantavat Pranam. That's Pajumna saying. Wow, very neat for Juna Prabhu. Kshetre pragyasya vaibratur matrukto badarayana dhritarashtram cha pandum cha viduram chapyaji janat. Badarayan, Shri Vyasadeva, following the order of his mother Satyavati, begot 3 sons, 2 by the womb of Ambika and Ambalika, the 2 wives of his brother Vichitravirya, and the 3rd by Vichitravirya's maidservant. Okay, yep. These sons were Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Purport. Vichitravirya died of tuberculosis, and his wives Ambika and Ambalika had no issue. Therefore, after Vichitravirya's death, his mother Satyavati, who is also the mother of Vyasadeva, asked Vyasadeva to beget children through the wives of Vichitravirya. In those days, the brother of the husband could beget children through the womb of his sister-in-law. This was known as Devarena Sutotpati. If the husband was somehow unable to beget children, his brother could do so through the womb of his sister-in-law. This Devarena Sutotpati and the sacrifices of Ashvamedha and Gomedha are forbidden in the age of Kali. All right, no more doing that in Kali Yuga. Ashvamedham gavalambham sannyasam palapaitrikam devarena sutotpatim kalopancha vivarjayat. In this age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyas, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and a man's begetting children and his brother's wife. It's from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Gandaryam dhritarashtasya jagye putra shatam nripa tatra duryodhana jeshto dushala chapi kanyaka. Dhritarashtra's wife Gandhari gave birth to 100 sons and one daughter, O king. The oldest of the sons was Duryodhan, and the daughter's name was Dushala. Shapa maituna rudhasya pandho kuntyam maharata jata dharma nilendrebhyo yudhishtira mukhastraya nakula sahadevascha madram nasatyadasrayo Draupadyam panchapanchabhya putraste pitaro bhavan. Pandu was restrained from sexual life because of having been cursed by a sage, and therefore his three sons Yudhishthir, Bhima, and Arjuna were begotten through the womb of his wife Kunti by Dharmaraj, by the demigod controlling the wind, and by the demigod controlling the rain. Pandu's second wife, Madri, gave birth to Nakula and Sahadev, who were begotten by the two Ashvini Kumars. The 5 brothers headed by Yudhishthir begot 5 sons through the womb of Draupadi. These 5 sons were your uncles. Hey, it didn't mention Arjuna's father. Yudhishtirat prativindhya shrutasena virkodharat Arjunach Shrutakirtistu Shatanikastu Nakli. From Yudhishthir came a son named Prativindhya. From Bhima, a son named Shrutasena. From Arjuna, a son named Shrutakirti. And from Nakula, a son named Shatanika. Sahadeva suto rajan Shruta karma tata pare Yudhishthiratu pauravyam devakota ghato kacha Bhimasena didhimpayam kalyam sarvagatastata Sahadevat suhotrang tu vijaya sutta parvati. Oops. O king, the son of Sahadev was Shruta-karma. Sorry, one second, just need to stretch. Oh, okay. O king, the son of Sahadev was Shruta-karma. Furthermore, Yudhishthir and his brothers begot other sons and other wives. Yudhishthir begot a son named Devaka through the womb of Pauravi. And Bhimasen begot a son named Ghatotkacha through his wife Hirimba, and a son named Sarvagata through his wife Kali. Similarly, Sahadev had a son named Suhotra through his wife named Vijaya, who was the daughter of the king of the mountains. Karenu matyam nakulo naramitram tatarjuna iravantam ulupyam vai sutayam babruvahanam Manipura pate sopi tatputra putrika sutta. Nakula begot a son named Naramita through his wife named Karenumati. Similarly, Arjuna begot a son named Iravan through his wife known as Ulupi, the daughter of the Nagas, and a son named Prabhuvahan by the womb of the princess of Manipur. But Prabhuvahan became the adopted son of the king of Manipur. Purport. It is to be understood that Parvati is the younger daughter. I don't know why I added that word in. It is to be understood that Parvati is the daughter of the king of the very, very old mountainous country known as Manipur state. 5,000 years ago, therefore, when the Pandavas ruled, Manipur existed, as did its king. Therefore, this kingdom is a very old aristocratic Vaishnav kingdom. If this kingdom is organized as a Vaishnav state, this revitalization will be a great success because for 5,000 years, the state has maintained its identity. If the Vaishnav spirit is revived there, It will be a wonderful place, renowned throughout the entire world. Manipuri Vaishnavas are very famous in Vaishnav society. In Vrindavan and Navadip, there are many temples constructed by the king of Manipur. Some of our devotees belong to the Manipur state. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, can be well spread in the state of Manipur by cooperative efforts of the Krishna conscious devotees. Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj ki jai. Tava tata subhadrayam abhimanyur ajayata sarvatira tajirvira uttarayan tato bhavan. My dear King Parikshit, your father, Abhimanyu, was born from the womb of Subhadra as the son of Arjuna. He was the conqueror of all Atiratas, those who could fight with 1,000 charioteers. From him, by the womb of Uttara, the daughter of Viradraja, from Uttara, the son of Viradraja, born. Okay, Uttara is the daughter of Viradraja. Parikshineshu kurushu droner brahmastre jasa tam cha krishnanubhavena sajivo mochiton takat. After the Kuru dynasty was annihilated in the battle of Kurukshetra, you were also about to be destroyed by the Brahmastra atomic weapon released by the son of Dronacharya. But by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, you were saved from death. Taveme tanayastata janame jaya purvaka shrutaseno bhimasena ugrasenascha viryavan. My dear king, your 4 sons, Janamejaya, Shrutasena, Bhimasena, and Ugrasena, are very powerful. Janamejaya is the eldest. Janamejaya samviditva takshakan nidhanam gatam sarpam vai sarpayagagno sahoshyati rushanvita. Because of your death by the Takshak snake, your son Janamejaya will be very angry and will perform a sacrifice to kill all the snakes in the world. Kalasheyam purodhaya turam turagame dashat samantat prithivim sarvam jitva yakshyati chadvarai. After conquering throughout the world and accepting Tura, the son of Kalasha, as his priest, Janamejaya will perform Ashvamedha Yagyas, for which he will be known as Turaga Medashat. And Turaga Medashat means a performer of many horse sacrifices, huh? Oh yeah, Medha means killing, right? I guess Turaga means horse sacrificer. Tasya putra shataniko yagyavalkyat trayim patan astra jnanam kriya jnanam shonakat param eshyati. The son of Janamejaya, known as Shatanika, will learn from Yajnavalkya all the 3 Vedas and the art of performing ritualistic ceremonies. One second. Okay. He will also learn the military art from Kripacharya and the transcendental science from the sage Shonaka. Sahasrani kastatputras tataschaivashvamedaja asima krishnastasyapi nemi chakras tutataha. The son of Shatanika will be Sahasranika, and from him will come a son named Ashvamedaja. From Ashvamedaja will Sima Krishna, and his son will be Nemi Chakra. Gajavaye krite nadya koshambhyam sadhu vatsyati uktas tata chitratas. Wait, let me do that. Uktas tatas chitraratas tasmat chuchirata sutta. When the town of Hastinapur, New Delhi, is inundated by the river, Nemi Chakra will live in the place known as Koshambi. His son will be celebrated as Chitrarata, and the son of Chitrarata will be Shuchirata. Tashmascha vrishtimangstasya sushenota mahi. Sunitastasya bhavita nrichakshur yatsuki nala. From Shuchirata will come a son named Vrishtiman, and his son Sushena will be the emperor of the entire world. The son of Sushena will be Sunita. His son will be Nrichakshu, and from Nrichakshu will come a son named Sukinala. Pariplavas tasman medhavis sunayatmaja nripanjayastato urvas timistasmajjanishyati. The son of Sukinala will be Pariplava, and his son will be Sunaya. From Sunaya will come a son named Medhavi. From Medhavi, Nirpanjaya. From Nirpanjaya, Durva. And from Durva, Timi. Timir brihadratastasmach chatanika sudasaja shantanika durdamanas tasya patyamahi nara. From Timi will come Brihadrata. From Brihadrata, Sudasa. And from Sudasa, Shatanika. From Shatanika will come Durdamana. And from him will come a son named Mahinara. One second. Dandapanir nimistasya kshemako bhavita yata brahmakshatrasya vayonir vangsho devarshi satkrita. Kshemakam praparajanam sangstam prapsyati vaikalo ata Maghda rajano bhavino ye vadamite. The son of Mahinara will be Dandapani, and his son will be Nimi, from whom King Kshemaka will be born. I have now described to you the moon god's dynasty, which is the source of the Brahmins and Kshatriyas, and is worshipped by demigods and great saints. In this Kali Yuga, Kshemaka will be the last monarch. I shall describe to you the future of the Maghda dynasty. Please listen. Let me take it out of this view. Bhavita sahadevasya marjarir yachrutashrava tato yutayustasyapi niramitra tatatsuta sunakshatra brihatseno takarmajit tata sutanjayad vipra shuchistasya bhavishyati kshemata suvritastasma dharma sutra samastata Dyumatseno tatsumati subalo janita tata. Sahadev, the son of Jarasandha, will have a son named Marjari. From Marjari will come Shrutashrava. From Shrutashrava, Yutayu. And from Yutayu, Niramitra. The son of Niramitra will be Sunakshatra, and from Sunakshatra will come Brihatsena. And from Brihatsena, Karmajit. The son of Karmajit will be Sutanjaya. The son of Sutanjaya will be Vipra, and his son will be Shuchi. The son of Shuchi will be Kshema. The son of Kshema will be Suvrata. And the son of Suvrata will be Dharma Sutra. From Dharma Sutra will come Sama. From Sama, Dyumatsena. From Dyumatsena, Sumati. And from Sumati, Subala. Sunita Satyajir Ata Vishvajir Yat Ripunjaya Bharadratascha Bhupada Bhupala bhavya sahasravatsaram. From Subala will come Sunita, from Sunit Satyajit, from Satyajit Vishvajit, and from Vishvajit Ripunjaya. All of these personalities will belong to the dynasty of Brihadrata, which will rule the world for 1,000 years. Purport. This is the history of a monarchy that began with Jarasandha and continues for 1,000 years as the above-mentioned kings appear on the surface of the globe. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 22nd chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Descendants of Ajamīḍha. So tomorrow we will read about the dynasties of the sons of Yayati. And then Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, 24. Whoa, I think we only have like 3 more days of reading. Cool, only 3 more days and then we're done with the 9th canto. Come to Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Guru Dev Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishta Mahabhagavat Shri Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishta Shri Sat Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradatta Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashachai Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams. Alright, see you all tomorrow. Haribol.